Hey guys, we're back. You'll have to ignore the heater. I've got my resin already mixed in the debubbler. Now let's take these out. These can be very difficult to get out, so I'm very carefully, I do not want to damage this, but I'm taking these little point tweezers and trying to get right down in the side to pull it away from the edges a little bit, to where I can get under there, get my finger, and pull it out. And we have made our little droozy mold. This one I'm worried about. It had leaked, and I cleared up the silicone around it. So I know there had to be a hole in there somewhere. Carefully pull this out. Just want to be gentle. I don't want to tear it. And this star is all these little tiny points. And we have a star droozy. Let's get this round one. Once we get these out, we're going to make a coaster with them, with one of them, the heart. Already got my colors out. Okay, isn't that pretty? And that little shimmer transfers over to your droozy. Almost. There's the mold. There's the droozy. Now let's see how this one is. It leaked around the top. So and that's not a hole. It's completely closed on the back. Little thin, but it's closed. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to get my resin and we're going to see what we can do. Okay, I've got 4 ounces of resin that I've mixed up. I just got it out of my debubbler. Did stir it a little bit, so I put a few little bubbles in there. I'm going to use this Eye Candy Kobe Luminaire to paint my droozy. You don't have to paint it, but I want to. And I'm just using a little makeup brush that I have here. I think this will go really well with the colors I've picked. Just getting it down in there. I haven't used this color before. It is really pretty. Okay, done with that. Do it on a paper towel, that way all the mica powder can get a quick blow off. Alright, this is the mold I'm going to use. I do want to make sure I don't have anything on the back of this, but I don't want to. I'm going to take baby wipe and just slightly go over the back. Dry that off just a little bit. I don't want to put it in my mold wet. Okay. I already got something on the back. Just take some tape, pull it off. Okay, now I'm going to put this in here like this. Press down. Some resin will probably get under this, and that's okay, because it will just flake right off when the piece is done. Just clean up around that where little mica went flying. Bring it attach that down. Little microfiber cloths to pat my mold. Get that water out of there that I'd put in. A little smudge. Okay. Maybe some tape. I don't know if you all can see that little smudge there. I believe I must have touched it and got a fingerprint. I got it off. Here we go. Now we got it. Tape works wonders. And you can take your little brush and clear up any spots you might have wiped off, because I can see a few that I've wiped off doing all that. Just want to touch it back up. Okay, now let's check my temperature of my resin. I want to give it a stir first, because it'll be different temps. 34.1. Okay. I want it to be about 36. 33 to 36 for bloom is good. But I'm going to try 36 today. And this, once it starts to heat, it heats up pretty quick. And these bubbles I've introduced should come to the top and pop where the resin is warming. I'm already 35.1. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I've got my scale over here. I want 15 grams for my white. Won't need it all, but that's how much I'm going to mix up. Okay, got 15 grams. The rest of this I'm just going to pour in the mold. I'm pouring around the droozy first, but I do want it to completely cover it up, because I'm going to have to check for bubbles down in that mold. Sometimes the mica powder helps to eliminate bubbles. I think that's enough, because I probably am going to do a background on this. Now, using a heat gun torch on this where the droozy is in the center, you have to be very careful, because I don't want to melt my droozy mold that I just made to my resin. A few little bubbles. Where's my flashlight? I want to make sure I don't have any bubbles down around this mold. I see a few. This mold came from Pouring Your Heart Out on eBay. And if I can, I'll link in the description the link for her. She's got all kinds of gorgeous molds. Julie Cuts Pouring Your Heart Out. She's the one that inspired this piece with the droozies. Love to watch her videos. You can learn a lot from her. And her molds are gorgeous. Alright, another little bubble. Don't get too close to your edges, because of you will fuse your mold. A few little bubbles there. Something's down in there. Come on. I think it's a piece of mica powder. If I can get it. finally. Oops. Did you see me pull that apart? Get that put back together there. There we go. Alright. Now, the colors I've got. Rose, Peach Red by Let's Resin. This is the 48 piece kit. I'm not worried about the droozy because the color of the droozy that we painted is going to show up, and the back's not really going to matter behind it. These colors should pull in. I'm going to let those set as I mix up my white. Just dropping everything today. I'm using the Let's Resin Ocean White pigment paste. I just want one drop in this. Pigment paste is very heavy, and if you use too much, then everything's going to blob to the bottom. It's just going to sink. Getting this to come out sometimes is, there we go, bit of a pain. Alright, I'll wipe this bottle off. Okay. Now, let's mix this up really good. I can feel it getting warm. You want it to look like skim milk. I wished I'd used a colored stick. Let's see if we can get a colored stick. That way you can see. Here's one. It's got some green on it. See how transparent that is? It looks like skim milk. That's what you want. Now you can pipe your petals. You can take your stick and draw your petals. It doesn't matter. You can use more alcohol ink than what I've used. It looks like it's finished moving. Don't add your white until it's finished moving. Even though you're not going to see the center, I'm going to start in the center. And I always pour mine from a cup. And I'm just going to do a spiral. I don't want it to touch the edge of the mold, but I do want it. And that's going to cause a blob. Alright, take your stick anywhere you see these little heavy spots like that. You want to drag that through because that will cause a blob. Okay, now let's make our design. I'm going to use this end. And I'm just going to do the typical design in like a clock. I'm just dragging across the top of the resin. I'm not going all the way through. I want little tiny petals, so I'm going to go again. I like this basic flower design. I think it turns out really pretty. One more. And then I'm just going to give this a swirl in the center. Even though you're not going to see it, I'm going to do it anyways. Now, with that, I'm going to take my heat gun and I am going to just at an angle go around on low and see if I can get these petals to give them a little bit of a help blooming. And I just want it to go right across the top of the resin. Just do this a couple of times. And a little bit. We don't want to heat it too much because we let it set until it reached temperature so that it would thicken up. And that is it. I will come back in a part 2 video because I don't know how to combine videos. And we'll do a back coat since I've still got quite a bit of room in here. And then we will do the unmolding. Hey guys, I'm back. I've decided not to put a backing on this. You can see it's touch dry. It's probably going to be still soft around the edges. But let's see what it looks like. I think with this crystal mold, you can tell it's still a little soft around the edges. With this crystal mold, I think it's going to be really pretty just having it clear. You can, like I said, it's a little soft. I'll trim off some of this later. Try to get these out. I don't want to stretch it too bad. I'm just too impatient and want to see what it looks like. Okay. There's that. Now you can see we do have a little overflow, and like I said, this will just come right off and just go right around it. I'm trying to be very careful. I may have to let, there we go, just one more little piece here. That one seems like it's a little deeper. I don't want to cut my droozy, but I do want to get started on this, and I think if I can get it started, I can get it to peel on around. Maybe. Get this over here where you can see. This part's a bit thicker than the rest of it was. Okay, overflow is off. Now, we just need to get this out. Pull back, pull it off. We can clean those little pieces of mica that's left. And there is our piece. Isn't that gorgeous? This, you don't need to do anything to it, but you can fill it with resin if you want. I'm trying to get it out of that light. But isn't that beautiful? And bloom turned out very well. So, let's see. I'm going to get us a black background here. And then we can see what it looks like with black behind it. This is just a vinyl tablecloth that I have cut. Move that out of the way. I don't want to get stuck. Move that. Pick this up. Now, here it is with the black behind it. Woo! Told you I'm clumsy. Isn't that gorgeous. And that's it. See you guys for our next video.